Yeah, I know, a real sweltering take, but hear me out. Watch this clip.
Let me just shake off this obviously fake, only on the shoulders New York snow. You guys all coming from the Statue of Liberty too?
Least funny thing, I've ever seen in my whole life. So Peter says, like, this kind of clunky line, he's brushing this fake New York snow off of his shoulders. I guess satirizing the extremely specific and nothing burger trope, the fucking iconic New York snow on shoulders. Like, what the fuck is this from? And the line is like so long and overly sarcastic and over-explained. Like, Family Guy is so cynical, but it's like cynical at nothing. Like, God, somebody needs to knock the fake New York snow on the shoulders down a peg. Like, come on. It's just like every fucking Family Guy line is like this. It has to be so negative and sneering and pretentious. Family Guy, the high art has decreed its social commentary. Fucking God, everything sucks and is so fucking cliche. This is obviously fake New York snow. So overdone. No sense of whimsy in Family Guy. Everything has to be so fucking negative all the time. I think that's a line from the show that Chris says. Come on. Rich coming from perhaps, the fucking epitome of goy swap. After that fucking side splitter, with no hesitation, Peter follows up, with another heater. He goes, are you guys all coming to the Statue of Liberty? This one scans slightly better. The joke is like, I guess, a reference that, like, media centered around New York is, like, about its landmarks, which, fascinates me. What really fascinates me about this is just, like, look at the characters in the scene. They don't fucking interact. They're a family. They talk. They'll just look at each other and blankly stare at Peter and don't respond. Like, isn't comedy supposed to be, like, lighthearted and fun and usually built off character interactions and, like, being spontaneous? Comedy in real life, when you're laughing, you're usually having fun with your friends or your loved ones. But, this extremely unfunny line is buttressed by, in its abhorrence by the fact that these joke dispensers do not interact with each other. Peter and Chris are especially bad in this regard of just yapping off non sequiturs, but Christ, it's so fucking obnoxious and grating. Watch a show where these people don't even react, they just blankly stare on still model sheets with their extremely try-hard and cynical jokes. So, I liked the first 3 seasons of Family Guy. Most good people do. The humor hadn't yet evolved in this extremely heavy-handed, pretentious, lifeless husk of a show. But holy fucking shit, I think it gets way too much credit these days. And I know a lot of people who watch, like, things or, like, clips like this are just kids. But frankly, it's crazy that, like, Family Guy is a kid show. Because not only is it, like, obviously, not designed for kids, but, like, it sucks. It's awful. Like, I wouldn't, if I had, like, a 10-year-old son, I wouldn't really mind watching South Park as long as I was there. But you fucking Family Guy, forget about it. It's gonna rot his little fucking brain. Next clip.
You can't take our land. We built all this nothing for nothing.
I'm sorry, but I got a paper here signed by the governor of this Dakota.
Cowboy husband, is everything okay?
Get back inside, women who are way hotter than real women from this place.
I cannot imagine laughing at this. I can't imagine anyone laughing at this, dude. I hate the Family Guy voice acting, by the way. It's the same 2 voices, and it eclipses the British in terms of pretentiousness. The fact that this is accrued popularity, this is going to be part of my Goyafesto. Like, people are sheep, in need of a shepherd. No wonder the fucking Jews are in control, Perhaps it's better that way. Maybe the masses, are obedient Goyim who need a messiah and an invisible hand to guide them. Maybe that's why religion's so popular. But anyway, what need I say? The first part is, like, fucking fine, I guess. They built the nothing from nothing, but, like, this Dakota joke, I don't quite get, and I think it's like a kind of like, all the Western states are kind of the same joke, which I guess is fine, but it's really not that funny. Not even, like, it didn't even speed up my breathing pattern. My heart rate actually went down after I heard the joke. And then, like, it nosedives from there. Like, it already started out pretty bad, but it impressively eclipsed its own, awfulness, its own abhorrence, its own putridity. Don't know if that's a word, but she says, hey, cowboy husband, what's going on? Cowboy husband? Why the fuck is it so ham-fisted and over-explained? Like, why does she have to say cowboy husband? We have eyes. Your Family Guy must be a great fucking show if you're blind, because, like, you will never be left wanting. You will never, like not have a fucking clue what's going on, because it's so over pat and determined. And then she says, yes, is everything okay? And then, oh, the banger, the punchline, the fastball down the middle of the fucking plate. He says, and I quote, "Get back inside, women who were hotter than real women of this time." Or from this place. But the thing that gets me is, the idea that actresses in westerns are hotter than, actual, fucking manifest destiny ass era women, that can actually be a good idea for a joke. But, why do that when you can literally just say the idea super awkwardly out loud? Why write a clever, funny line when the masses will shovel the goy slop into their mouths without question? I mean, no wonder the world is so messed up right now. Everyone these days thinks they're some sort of fucking genius. Everyone thinks you're really seeing through the clouds. They got the wool, like, out over their eyes. But, they're fucking breaking the matrix. But no, literally everybody is retarded. Nobody knows anything. Everyone's so emotional and whiny and stupid. Everyone that's like that, they call other people emotional, whiny, and stupid. They'll be like, oh, woman, emotional, Freud alert, emotion coming. I got the Freud meter. Bzz, bzz, bzz. At least Freud's have an excuse because they gotta act all fucking crazy when they're on their periods or ovulating and whatnot. They fucking act crazy when they're on their period, then they act crazy when they're pregnant, and then they act crazy when, they're menopausal. Frankly, being a woman is a limbo of no joy. Jesus fucking Christ, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemies. Why'd I roll this shit in the script? I guess the moral of the story today is, women have it pretty rough. That's all I had to say in a long one today. Family Guy fucking sucks. See ya.